Welcome to Garden Wise Adventures. It's another beautiful day and time for another plant of the week. Today we're going to talk about one of my other favorite trees, although we'll get to why it's a favorite and it's not necessarily to eat. But it's called a medlar. Medlars grow mostly in southwestern Europe, southwestern Asia, and English people really seem to like their medlars. And it is a member of the rose family. It is a beautiful tree. You can notice up on the top, it does tend to have a little bit of problem with aphids. But they're not a large tree. They tend to be around 10 to 12 feet tall and probably about 8 feet wide. It's got large tropical looking leaves. They flower in the spring and they have a large, beautiful white flower. I'll see if I can get a picture of that to add. And those flowers develop into these odd looking fruits. Now you look at that and say, okay, how on earth do you eat that? Well, in the fall, those fruits will, especially after a hard frost, those fruits will start to shrivel a little bit. So when you pull them off the tree, gather them off the ground and bring them inside, but you can't eat them immediately. If you've ever eaten a persimmon, they're just like persimmons where you have to bled them. So you may ask what bledding is. Bledding is basically allowing the fruit to rot. I have to say that the fruit is tasty. It does taste like apples and cinnamon and it has some really rich overtones. So the fruit doesn't taste bad. It's the texture I have an issue with. It's a bit like a sandy mud. So if you can't handle textures like that, maybe medlars aren't the fruit for you. But I'm hoping I'm going to try it again this year because it does produce prolifically. I'm going to try it again and see if I can get over the texture thing because the flavor is really good. If you go online, especially on YouTube, and Google medlar fruit, there's a lot of different recipes you can do with them. So I may try that this fall. Medlars do really well here in the state of Utah because one of their main requirements are cold winters and hot summers. They need a little bit more moisture. So once again, like my pawpaw, my medlar is planted near where it can get some of the lawn irrigation. They need a little bit more fertilizer than like your apple trees, but that also happens with the lawn. So if you have a place with those conditions, the medlar is a beautiful, unusual tree that you can plant that grows well here in Utah. If you have any questions, or if you have tried any unusual fruit, I would love to hear from you. And have a wonderful garden adventure.